Why it's taking so long to record? All righty, wonderful people. It is Wednesday the 6th. It's after 10 o'clock. We're here for math. Let me connect whatchamacallit real quick. I think we got some microphones on. All right, we're good. We are good. So this week we've been talking about some review of some geometry. We've been looking at shapes for math, and we're going to do a little bit more with something called classifying today. That's where you're going to have a bunch of shapes, and you're going to have to put them in the right places where they belong based on the rules that we've been talking about. We've been talking about these polygons. Polygons are flat shapes. They are two-dimensional, so that's the math term for flat. They're made up of straight lines on their sides, and they have to have 3 sides and 3 angles to make them a polygon. On our poster, we talked about yesterday, there's a circle on there. A circle is a 2D shape, but a circle is not a polygon. To be a polygon, you have to be a triangle or larger, and you must have all sides closed. It must be a closed shape. We've been talking about shapes that have sides less than about 8. The triangle has 3 sides, the hexagon has 6 sides, the pentagon has 5 sides, and we've been talking about different quadrilaterals. That's the fancy math word for all shapes that have 4 sides. We have some examples here. The trapezoid, the rectangle, the square, and the rhombus are all shapes with 4 sides that have different rules underneath quadrilaterals. We're going to look at in just a second. You're going to have an activity today that looks like this. You're going to have to sort the shapes into the right groups. That's what you do when you classify. So we can see that a hexagon has 6 sides. Quadrilaterals are shapes with 4 sides. Pentagons are shapes with 5 sides. Octagons have 8 sides, and triangles have 3 sides. Some of our confusion has been underneath the area of quadrilaterals, because quadrilaterals are shapes with 4 sides, but we don't always use that math word. We think of squares and rectangles, but quadrilateral is any shape with 4 sides. So we're going to check in with Annie and Moby and get some clarifications on quadrilaterals, and then we're going to compare our new knowledge with quadrilaterals with our background knowledge about polygons to look at today's activity. So if the video gets stuck, listen in and hang tight, and I'll send it out after. And here we go, quadrilaterals.
Hey, Moby. I'm practicing my comedy routine for the talent show. Want to hear some jokes? What did the rectangle say to the circle? I'll see you around. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Everyone loves jokes about shapes, am I right? What are quadrilaterals? A quadrilateral is a closed shape with 4 straight sides. Right, Moby. A square and a rectangle are both quadrilaterals. Both shapes have 4 sides. Remember, quadrilaterals always have straight sides. So these shapes aren't quadrilaterals. The sides of a quadrilateral can be straight up and down, straight across, or they can be slanted. What did the quadrilateral say to the empty room? Square is everybody. What is the difference between a square and a rectangle? A square has 4 sides, and each side is the same length. A rectangle has 4 sides too. The opposite sides are the same length. An angle is the place where 2 lines or sides meet. A shape can have different angles. One angle might be big and wide, and another might be narrow and small. The angles on a square and a rectangle are right angles. Why did the square miss class? Because she sprained her ankle. is a parallelogram? When lines are parallel, they never cross. The distance between them is always the same, no matter where you measure. This quadrilateral has one pair of parallel sides. If you extended those sides forever, they would never cross. But this quadrilateral does not have any parallel sides. You know, parallel lines have so much in common. It's a shame they'll never meet. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral with two pairs of parallel sides. A rectangle and a square are both parallelograms. They each have two pairs of parallel sides. The parallel sides of a parallelogram are equal. Why did the parallelogram go jogging? So it could stay in shape. What is a rhombus? A rhombus is a quadrilateral with two pairs of parallel sides and four equal sides. Right, Moby. A square is also a rhombus. It has two pairs of parallel sides and four equal sides. A rhombus, square, and rectangle are all parallelograms. Did you hear about the quadrilateral that got lost? It took the wrong bus. What is a trapezoid? A trapezoid is a quadrilateral with one pair of parallel sides. A trapezoid can have a pair of equal sides or no equal sides. How do you catch a quadrilateral? You use a trapezoid. A square, rectangle, and rhombus are parallelograms and have two pairs of parallel sides. But a trapezoid only has one pair of parallel sides. You're right, Moby. All quadrilaterals have four sides, but they can look really different. Their sides and angles show how they're alike and different. What did one quadrilateral say to the other? What side are you on? You have a joke? Let's hear it. What do you call a shape that howls at the moon? A square wolf.
All right, so that explained a little bit more about which shapes are quadrilaterals. All of these shapes are polygons. That's like the big main idea of what we're talking about. And a quadrilateral is a group of those shapes, just like hexagons, pentagons, octagons, and triangles. Just in those shapes that have four sides, some of them have specific names, kind of like how you're in a class, but each student has their own name. So I think that helps with some of our confusion. And we're going to see you show off what you know in today's activity. It's underneath Wednesday 1-6. It says follow the directions to complete the Google Slides activity. It looks like this when it opens. Your directions are on the side. Think about the lesson to remember how many sides each shape has. Then click the blue shape and drag it into the correct box. So you have the same boxes on top. It says hexagons, quadrilaterals, pentagons, octagons, and triangles. And on the bottom, you have all of these different blue shapes. So with whatever your device you're using, you're going to tap or you're going to click on each shape until it turns blue around it. And I have clicked on a triangle, and a triangle has three sides. So I'm going to use my device and use patience to do the best I can to drag it to the correct box. So here's a triangle with three sides, and it goes in the box for triangles. Let's see. This next shape looks like two shapes stacked together. This shape has 8 sides, so I'm going to drag it over to the box for octagons that has 8 sides. let's see, one more. This pentagon has 5 sides, so I'm going to click it or tap it and move it up to where it goes. All right, so I think that helps answer some of those questions. When all the shapes have been sorted, you are done with slide number 1. Then over here, you do have a second slide. Some of us yesterday missed the second slide. You have 2 things to do. Okay, so this one says, look at each shape and their sides. Look at the length of each side. Are they the same or are they different? Click the shape and drag it into the box. So the first shape is a rectangle, and I'm going to go over here and make it big so you can see. Yesterday, when we looked at the polygons, we looked at the sides and the vertices, the corners and the angles. So we know that a rectangle is a quadrilateral, but it's different than a square because 2 of the sides are the same length, and then the other 2 sides, the other set of sides, are longer. They're not equal in length. So this rectangle goes on the red side that says all sides are not equal in length. But if I took a polygon like the square, and the square has 4 sides that are the same length, then that goes in this box. All sides are equal in length. They're the same. Let's pick 1 or 2 more. This triangle, if I made it bigger, the sides are the same length, so that goes here. And if I pick this triangle, this side where my mouse is way longer than the other 2, which means it's not equal. It's not the same length. You're going to look at all of your shapes on the bottom, take your time and be patient, and sort them where they go. When you're finished, come back to where your activity is, and then it's going to say turn in on the top, I think. When you're done with both of those slides, you are finished with math for the first activity. Then you are logging on to Reflex to get your green lights. Math block ends at 11 o'clock. So with your extra time, you're practicing math facts. You can go to Reflex and Prodigy, but you must put first things first. Don't leave the meet. I'm going to stop recording our math video, and we're going to talk about our afternoon.